Hello, Connective. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you don't know how I work, I put a bunch of different cards from different decks on the table that tell a story and we talk about it. If you like the content, feel free to subscribe. Don't smash anything. With that being said, let's get into this energy. This is a general reading for Capricorn. Capricorn, I'm going to pull some cards for you. I've been clearing the energy every time, and everybody's readings are like starting to sound like each other's readings, except for like the components that are involved. So I'm hoping, Capricorn, for you that it's different. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. These are pretty much shuffle. Let's see if they'll jump. Yeah, I guess they will. You know what? That card came out for somebody else. I have shuffled these cards. Oh, wow. Another card that came out for somebody else. Yeah, well, I'm hoping that we get new cards. What is that? Okay. Wow. Let's go a couple more times. Jumped back in. Jumped back in. All right, that one didn't. Okay. And we'll go one more time. Not terrible. I mean, I can only see two cards, but okay. Okay. I think they're done talking. Let's see what we got here. Wow. Yes. Yes. The same cards as other people. Wow. I don't know. I shuffle these. I don't know. Anyway, let's do persona first. So, first chakra, Archangel Michael. This is our root chakra. That's the only people, except for we have the garden and the gate, which was actually kind of like a person, and the other reading it was like a depiction of a person. You have carrying connections. Usually that's what we're working towards. So we got people there. Victory. Another persona, but usually it's victory, right? So financial constraints are over here. I don't know why financial constraints always come out with indecision. I don't know what that's about. Happy family. We're all working towards that, right? Down here with victory. For right now. And then door to romance and yin yang, which can be a balance. Usually it's a balance of female and male energy. If it's a bride, I believe it's supposed to be the female energy. But I always just take this as balance. We'll find out. See what's going on. Let's pull some more cards. Let's pull some more cards for Capricorn and try to figure out why on earth we are indecisive with financial constraints. Jeez. There's a lot of good stuff on the table. I mean, we have a chakra on the table, so we always say when the chakra comes out, we're either talking about the chakra or the angels. So, yeah, if it's Archangel Michael, if you've ever wanted to have a relationship with Archangel Michael, you know, I urge you to form your own, you know, bonds with Archangel Michael. I talk to Archangel Michael almost every single day. So other than that, it could be that chakra, it could be that root chakra. Either needs attention. I always say don't just pay attention to one chakra, but if there was a chakra you were worried about or whatever, that's, you know, that's the chakra that's on the table right now. It's coming up. That's like kind of like your foundation, like your stability kind of. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening here. Let's see if we can get some messages from Alice the Wonderland. I'd like to have 3 cards, please. Wow, 2 of them jumped out and jumped back in just together. 2 more cards from Alice the Wonderland, please, for Capricorn. Alice have a message for Capricorn today? Okay. Ooh. All right. Oh, okay. So we have clock time, which is divine timing. We have who in the world are you? This just came out for another sign, not the one, but yeah, this did come out because this is getting to know the new you. So this is like changing and then like becoming acclimated to that change. Yeah, I still don't know where this goes. And then we have messages for a rabbit. Okay, so for all intents and purposes, this is like the empath card in the deck. That's at least what it proved to be in another reading. We'll double check that. Huh? We'll, the new you. Oh, getting to know the new you, man. It's like, kind of sounds like it to me, but let's see. Maybe it's another message for another rabbit. Let's see what's up. Let's see. We're going to pull the Moonology manifestation so we can get the messages for Capricorn, but we're also asking what other signs might be involved. This does look kind of empathy. I'm just going to tell you right now. Oh, wow. Yeah. Is this another empath empowerment reading? That will be an extended. The description will be in the link. The link will be in the description. Let's see if we can get any other messages or signs from this one. The moons want to give us any insight on Capricorn's reading right now. We could kind of use it. You got Capricorn kind of looking like an empath on the table. Can we get some clarification on that? Moon manifestation cards. You're going to make me pull them? Make me pull the moon cards, eh? What's happening? Oh. Wow. I'll get it. We'll get it. Hold on. All right. Is there another one? Anything else? I'm just going to give you guys a chance to talk. You want to talk? Okay. Okay. Let me just see what other message this is. Okay. So we have lighten up. Last quarter moon in Leo. So we have last quarter moon in Leo, lighten up. We have new moon in Capricorn, step up and lead. And then we have last quarter moon in Taurus, be proud of yourself. It's like empath messages. And we're going to pull the blind spot now. I'm just going to get it on the table. All right, can we just see what the blind spot is before we make any declarations and announcements? Let's see. Just give me one blind spot to let us know. It looks very interesting, actually. This is the sigil. Let's see what number 60 has to offer us. Wow. Superiority. Let me see how it's supposed to be read, and then we'll figure out if we're on the right track there. Ego trap of superiority. Desire to see itself as better is clouding your awareness, judgment, and capacity to achieve what you really want in this scenario. Comparison thinking. Oh, I forgot we had financial constraints on the table. Okay. You are also... It's like everybody's on borrowed time. Like everybody's like, whatever's going on in these readings right now, it's going to end itself. At some point, it's going to end itself. And it won't matter like what kind of indecision that you have. Things are going to turn out a certain way. victory and happy family, right? Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about this. Yeah, this is why, because you're on clock time or divine timing. It doesn't say like if you need to like hurry up or be patient, but I kind of see some like slow moving stuff on the table. So like, well, let's go through this, the slow moving stuff. We'll get back to those too, but we'll start with the door to romance. Like the door to romance is always like the door is being offered, but it's just the door. Like you can see through it, but you haven't walked through it. It's just the door, right? So there might be a reason why we're not walking through that door, right? We might not be ready. Like we might not feel confident. Yeah, we could be like imbalanced in some way. By imbalance, I mean like possibly holding on to something from the past that's causing, you know, us to not want to walk through the door, you know. It could just be indecision. Could just be, do I want to walk through that door? I don't know. Do I really want to? Right? The door could be anything. Whatever it is, it's attached to financial constraints. I mean, it could be love, because I always say your love and your money are connected, and you know, the love that I see on the table, I feel like I'm taking it as like this empath love, like how empaths, it's kind of like the stuff that they don't talk about, but empaths are really like, you know, supposed to be like, when they deal with people, it's in a feeling way, you know? So it's one of those things where it's like, you could see like in an empath reading, like you could see hearts on the table without it necessarily being romantic love. You do have the door to romance on the table. But the thing is especially with empaths, if you're not balanced there, you know, your foundation isn't really strong, like as an empath. I'll show you why that's the empath card. Then it's not going to be in a way that you want it, right? These caring connections are going to be a little funky because you didn't like heal or go through something that you needed to go through, which is affecting other areas in your life, right, Capricorn? You're still waiting for the victory. It's like still waiting to walk through that door. It's actually telling you to lighten up. It is telling you to step up and lead, but not right at the moment right now. This is over here with clock time. First, you have to be proud of yourself. Right? So, the reason why the messages for a rabbit is that, like the empath card, is because if you look at clock time, which is divine timing, I know I have funny lights and so you can't really see colors sometimes. This is really how I like to read, so bear with me. Here we go. So I don't know if you can see it, but her eyes are blue, right? Her eyes are very blue in this card and in this card, right? And in this card, they're red. She's trying to be like the rabbit. Well, she is like the rabbit. The rabbit is the empath. So, again, some people think that being an empath is just saying like, I'm an empath. It's not. There's stuff that comes along with this. If you want to have like caring connections, there's stuff that comes along with this. Now, the garden and the gate is symbolism of like having to make a choice. Like, so this card, she's standing by the gate. I feel like I've told this story 1,000 times. She's standing by the gate. She has the key around her neck. She could go through that gate, but right now she's standing on this side, which is like the safe side, you know. The abundance is out there. So again, we have a gate. Like we have a door to romance and we have a gate to abundance pretty much. This is kind of like, for me, like, do I want to be an empath? Do I want to make that decision to walk through that door, right? You've got this balance here. And like I said, that door to romance, I'm kind of like picking it up. Like, you kind of have to heal to get to the romance. Like, as an empath, so if you're deeper feeling, right, then it's going to affect your relationships, right? It's going to affect your relationships to the point where even if somebody disappoints you a little bit, it's going to hit you hard. Plus, this lighten up card, really? How many times have you been told that you're too sensitive? And then be proud of yourself. Especially because there's already a lot of times with empaths a self-esteem issue. But then once they figure out they're empaths, it can get a little worse, right? And, you know, getting used to that. Being an empath, getting used to what it comes with, doing those things, accepting it, being proud to be yourself, right? Because eventually you're going to have to possibly lead other empaths, possibly lead others in some way, right? Eventually, you will. Even if it's just something small. Some way to be of service so that others can understand too. Maybe that's what the decision is. Should I do that? It's possible. I mean, you have time to figure that out. Again, we don't know if it's abrupt or if it's patience, but clock time kind of denotes like patience to me. Like, you're waiting a little bit. You have to get used to being the new you. You have to learn how to lighten up and be proud of yourself. Plus, you need to like figure out the balance, and then like, of course, like be comfortable in it so you can have this stuff. And you still have financial constraints and indecision on the table. So there will be an extended on this. We will pull some more cards. We'll pull the healing cards. We'll try to figure out what's, you know, what's going on. Because with empaths, there is also stuff. Like, usually it's stuff they have to overcome. And it could be that they've already done it. We have balance on the table, but we don't really know why. We are being told to lighten up and to be proud of ourselves, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we're like imbalanced, you know. Telling somebody to lighten up would be like a normal thing you would tell an empath. And being proud of yourself, another probably normal thing you would tell them. Right? Who in the world are you is a little bit more complicated for an empath. Sometimes you feel other people's stuff. You're not sure whose it is, right? So, obviously, as we're trying to go through things, even before we figure it out, or we're told that we're an empath, or if we're figuring it out now, or if we just knew something was different, we were like, what in the heck? Like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do from here on out. Well, the first thing is lighten up. And be proud of yourself. Sometimes even if you're just discovering you're an empath, you probably went through something that kind of pushed you to the point where you like had the realization, right? Somebody like pushed you through the door to romance, going in the wrong direction or something. Or you were just kind of like, do I need to go through this again? Like, or can I just learn and just like evolve? We've already done that. We've already evolved because we're being told to be proud of ourselves, right? But also we have the who in the world are you? Which is telling me that we need to get used to the new change. We have to get used to being an empath. There's some indecision there. The financial constraints, I mean, if it's just about being an empath and financial constraints are here, the best thing I can tell you right now, Capricorn, is a lot of times when we start to wake up, we start to feel, we start to realize like we're an empath or we're a light worker. A lot of times what happens is we realize that we have a lot of beliefs that get in the way, just things that get in the way. The beliefs are a big one. And what'll happen is we kind of sort of have to like deprogram ourselves like slowly, because we don't even know what the programming is. We have to like figure it out. But a lot of times the programming has to do with lack, and lack doesn't have to necessarily be financial. It can be anything. It can be, I don't have enough cat food. I don't have enough whatever. And I can introduce lack into anything I want. I didn't get enough sleep. I don't have enough time to get to work. All that will cause financial constraints, because I don't just have feelings of lack in every aspect of my life. I have feelings about lack with my money too. A lot of times when we're trying to figure out what's going on in the spiritual awakening, and we're at to that point where we know we're an empath, but we're trying to like come to terms with that. Trying to find a reason to be proud of ourselves. We're trying not to be scared or I was trying to think of another word for scared that's like not scared, but like, I mean, apprehension is kind of the same thing in the spiritual awakening. Like you're almost kind of afraid to wonder what's going to happen next, right? Still probably could be categorized as fear. Sometimes it can just be really heavy. If you hit the right stage in your spiritual awakening, you can, you could really have to remind yourself to lighten up. Sorry. I don't mean to laugh. We've already been through it. This is why I always say, like, people always, tarot card readers, they always apologize. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. We laugh because we remember what it was like, right? We remember what it was like to be told that we're an empath, or to figure out that we were at an empath. And then we remember what it was like to have to like really come to terms with that, or just get comfortable with it in general. We might think it's a great idea, but like getting comfortable with it is a totally different thing, right? You kind of do have to lighten up to get there. You do. You have to let go of some things, because you might have wanted things to be a certain way, and then you start to realize that that belief isn't, it's limiting, right? And be proud of yourself was on top of step up and lead. I kind of feel like step up and lead is like on clock time. Like you're not being asked to do that right now. Like you have other stuff that you need to work through. But, I've said before that you don't have to be done working through it by the time, the next stage comes or whatever. Again, this clock time has no promise for needing patience. It might be a hurry up. Because this indecision is going to slow you down. It's going to make you take longer, where things are moving on divine timing. So again, it doesn't have to be like a relationship. I mean, it could be, but carrying connections doesn't have to be a relationship either. It could just be a really good friendship. Door to romance doesn't have to be a person. It could be a thing. You could have a renewed appreciation or romance for anything. A project you started. Could be a person, but it could be anything. It could be something and carrying connections, or it could be related to carrying connections. It could be related to happy family. Could just be something that you wish for that's falls into that category, right? And you just get it. I think that for this one, this card here, I really think it's kind of like a contemplation of who in the world you are. I mean, it could be a, do I want to be an empath, or do I want to be, something else? I don't know that I don't know that I don't know that the indecision is helping you out, because I don't know that you have a choice. I mean, in certain cases where there is a spiritual awakening involved, you've already chosen it. It's just your brain needs time to catch up, right? Needs to get the memo. I feel like if you hadn't already chosen it, it wouldn't happen. You wouldn't need to like get used to it, because it wouldn't happen. I mean, I know we think sometimes that we have control. Stop this, stop that. If it's supposed to happen, it won't. The constraining, this would just be a waste of time. Especially if you're trying to find balance, you know, or stability of any kind, you know, because you're kind of coasting on like procrastination, possibly lack, indecision about who you are, even though you're already that, which is going to like cause you to not necessarily lighten up. You could even be denying your caring connections, your happy family, or your victory. You could be denying the door to romance. You could be denying balance, right? And then prolonging the, you know, being proud of yourself, which prolongs your ability to step up and lead, right? Little bit of a chain effect there. But I feel like this is like fruitless. I feel like this indecision here of whatever it is, the debate, I feel like it is related to the spiritual awakening, or related to some question about, you know, something in the past. Sometimes as empaths, we have a little bit of regret, especially when we start looking at certain things from a more compassionate standpoint. And then we are a little bit hard on ourselves about the way we might have handled something, or the way something was brought to us. You kind of think about something that happened in the past, and then you say, that was mean. Especially if it was done to you. That was mean. That didn't need to be done that way, right? I wouldn't have done it that way. I would have done it this way, right? I should tell others to do it this way. You know, I mean, you see it. I kind of said it in another reading, like sometimes you look at like things the way they were, like the things the way they happened to you, and you kind of sometimes it's an extra step to like see who that person is, who that person has to be to treat you a certain way. But, you know, of course, also like an extra step for you to see who you had to be to allow that person to be that way. And then when you kind of take that perception of the persona of who that person had to be, and you kind of combine it with what they did and like the circumstances that they did it, you kind of can see pretty clearly like if they needed to do it, or if they quite needed to do it that way, or why they did it. Sometimes they did it. You see that situation for what it is, and you see their shortcomings. You see it. You kind of see them for who they are. Can be a little hard sometimes to lighten up or reconcile that a little bit, because you have to believe something new about someone that you didn't really think before that was a thing, you know. And you should really just give yourself credit that you did figure that out, you know. That's really what you're here to do, is find the lesson so that you can move past it, so that you can get used to the idea of moving past it, so that you can move towards other stuff. So Capricorn, we're getting to the point where we're going to want to pull more cards to get more of what's happening over here. See if we can talk a little bit more about this blind spot and these indecision and the financial constraints. I'm really looking at this like lack, though. We'll see if something comes out to kind of highlight that. And then, of course, the confirmation on the divine timing. Yeah. So, Capricorn, this is your reading. The link will be in the description for the extended reading. Meet us over there. If not, until we meet again.